Hi, my name is Ryan O'Sullivan, and this is the oral case study on Heidi Roizen, who is a Silicon Valley power broker. We have several questions to talk about in this study, and the first revolves around Heidi and her network and how her network evolved and how she used her network over the course of basically 5 different stops in her career during the study. The first stop was with a company called Tandem, and at Tandem she learned about how to network in general. She networked to get the job. She learned about access because she got direct access to the CEO there and was able to work with him and understand the importance of having a network. Her second stop was with a company called Teamaker. At that company, she really drove her natural strengths to create a larger network. She used social skills, she used her outgoing personality and her likability to become very successful and build a broad network, and did so genuinely. She wasn't just picking out people who were powerful and trying to network with them. It was people that she genuinely was interested in and wanted to develop a relationship with, which became very important in her third stop, which was Apple. At Apple, she had to really utilize that network because there was a lot going on at Apple at the time, and most of it was fairly negative. Um, some examples of that is she networked with Bill Gates, who she had known, to bring Microsoft and Apple together on some joint type products and services, and in doing so, really solved a long-term rift between those two companies. So without her networking, without her knowing people like a Bill Gates, the Apple experience would not have been a good one. Even though it was a short-lived one, and she did burn out rather fast there from the pace of things, at that point she became a mentor capitalist, which really fit her perfectly because she was taking people in her network and also growing her network through some social time, family time, and otherwise. But she was taking that network and helping connect people to opportunities and creating a lot of win-win situations between companies where she had members of her network and then people who were looking for opportunities. So that was probably a very fun time for her. The final stop that we see in this had to do with her entering the venture capital world with a company called SoftBank. At SoftBank, she started part-time. It really went full-time pretty quickly, and she had to evolve her network in the sense that she had to say no. She had to say no to creating time for people in her network to do some quick venture capital studies. She had to say no once she'd studied some business opportunities, and she also had to really be careful with herself in terms of her time, and had to align herself with other power brokers to kind of connect the cluster of brokerages out there, so of networks out there. So very important time for her in the sense that the final phase took her from learning how to build a network and building a network and leveraging that network to then having to really be careful and protect herself because she does have some giverish tendencies, as we'll find out, to protect herself in that network to make sure she's able to take care of herself. The second question we explore is how the readings in the fifth module really pertain to Heidi, which in a lot of ways they pertain quite well. In the harnessing the science of persuasion, there are six different things that are given as points to harness the power of persuasion. At least 5 of which pertain to her, if not all 6. Likability is the first one that jumps out. Extremely likable person, used that to build her network, and people flocked to her. People liked her, which made her more and more persuasive. Reciprocity, we talked about how she reciprocated with people and with companies. So when she was trying to create win-win scenarios, it was never about taking and never all about her. It was about how can she help two sides, and how can she show reciprocity when favors are done for her and vice versa. Consistency is the third one, and she talks about in building and maintaining a network, there's 3 things you need. You need access, you need performance, and you need consistency. And consistency goes to the heart of how you deal with people in a way that can be predictable and that they can count on in network dealings. And that's something she considered very important when she's examining her network and who's going to be in her network, or people that are consistent. They don't always have to be frequent, but can be consistent even if they've gone dormant. Authority is one, and she was definitely a authority in her industry. She was highly skilled, highly smart. Nobody ever questioned that about her. And scarcely to the sense that as she became more and more powerful, more and more people wanted to get to know her, and that scarcity of her time, in a way, almost drove her network so big to the fact that she had to rely on other power brokers and couldn't always reach out to the outer realms of all the networks she was in. How to Build Your Network is another reading, and this really focuses on the concept of superconnectors and power brokers. These are the people that people go to meet large numbers of people at the network. She's in the center of a network and has the ability to influence a large network. So not only was she that for her network, but she really knew how to connect other networks by identifying and going to those power brokers of other networks and driving. Really driving that home and driving that growth home. The final reading was Give and Take. We read about in Give and Take. There's three types of people. There's takers, there are givers, and then there are matchers. And while Heidi had some matcher tendencies, which is kind of a tit for tat type mentality, and showed matcher tendencies, she at heart was a giver and what we would call an otherish giver. It's the type of giver that protects herself, protects her networks, but is still highly productive. She doesn't let giving get in the way of her own success, but she still utilizes giving at the heart of what she's doing. Also in that book, we read about Adam Rifkin, who much like Heidi, was a person that connected a lot of people and helped a lot of people just out of the givingness of his heart find people, find jobs, and network to their own betterment. So a lot of that really pertained to Heidi. And she invested in people because she liked them, not because she wanted something from them. Of course, she was able to utilize her network, but really at the heart of it all was investing because she liked people. So that's what we've learned about Heidi. She's certainly a power broker with otherish giver tendencies and a force to be reckoned with in the Silicon Valley industry.